Hello guys, thank you for joining me again. Today I'm bringing for your viewing pleasure another HongDian fountain pen. I just received this a couple of days ago and I was really curious to see how it is because, well, personally I'm actually quite impressed with it. I didn't get to ink it, but I did get to play around with it. And I guess let's get to it. The body, it's actually very nice and slim. Has this cigar shape. Comes in a couple of different colors. Personally, I choose this bluish mauve kind of a thing. I'm not sure exactly what color it is, but I guess it's more blue than anything else. And it has a nice sleek shape, as you can see. The clip, it's just as slick as well. Unfortunately, it's a little bit kind of stiff. It doesn't budge at all. So this will be quite difficult to use it, I guess. Let me try and yeah, this is kind of tight, but I guess on a shirt it will work. But it might snag. I mean, it doesn't snag, it does glide, but it's really tight. Oh, actually, you might not want to put it in your shirt. It does nags. So yeah, unusable clip, at least in the on the version that I got, but definitely a good roll stopper, at least that. For weight and dimensions, please look in the description. I added them in there. What do I really like about this pen? First of all, this is a push cap on, but what I really like the most about it is this section. Personally, I usually do not like metal sections because they tend to be very slippery, but this one seems to have some at least laser engraving or grooves to help with the grip, and I think it might also have a PVD coating because this sucker grips on my fingers pretty well. And the design is actually really nice. Definitely stands out from whatever Jinhao has in this style. Especially with this nib. It's very well designed. I like it. Such a nice sleek shape. And for the price that I paid for it, I think it's pretty well done. When I bought it, I paid around $878 Canadian dollars, plus around 4 or 5 Canadian dollars shipping. So not bad. Oh yeah, and the model, it's 617, HongDian 617. Interesting, I see that HongDian has 2 words. I thought it's only 1 word. I guess I need to get that corrected in my other video. And because I like this fountain pen so much, actually, especially the section on it, I end up ordering a few other cheaper versions of HongDian fountain pens with similar styled grip, and can't wait for them. If they're gonna be just as good, I think these are gonna be are becoming one of my favorite pens. Just to show you how well it grips, like I'm almost vertical, and it's still sticking to my fingers. Like I'm not holding it with my fingers. I just put it there. Okay, now it's starting slipping. So yeah, I'm that impressed by it. Anyway, going back to the cap, plastic liner inside. I need a better light, I think, or something that will help me to see inside. But it basically kind of clips right at the end here. Oops, you can see a groove there. and there's another groove in there, and then just quite a very satisfying click. I like that. And it comes with a converter, a pretty nice converter. Very similar with the Jinhao ones. The only difference is actually these are much easier to service, because unlike Jinhao converters, it doesn't have the extra lip here that keeps this color in place, so you can easily actually pull it out, and you can service the piston nicer. And piston is nice, nothing special about it, just like a Lamy converter basically. One thing additional thing that I didn't like about it is when I got it, it had like a blob of glue right there. I was able to cut it off with an X-Acto knife, but I still have a little bit of debris in there. At the beginning I wasn't able to actually put the converter in, but after I cut off that a little bit lower, I was actually able to put the converter in. And the converter sits in very nice, tight and secure. I don't think there are going to be any issues with it. But yeah, metal threads, which is good. And it's actually very, very smooth. It has a little bit of play, but works very well. It's really front-end weighted to balance it, just to give you an idea, like something like that. And this is one of the pens that I probably prefer posted, even though personally I don't prefer posting the pen. Even posted, it doesn't change, the balance doesn't change that much. It's still kind of slightly towards the front. So the cap is very light and posts actually very deep, like more than halfway. I could use it on cap, and it's really heavy towards the bottom. But yeah, most probably this one I will be using it capped, just because I make it a little bit longer for hashing longer strokes. But yeah, this is pretty much it. A very fairly inexpensive fountain pen. I mean, you probably want to shop around a little bit until you find something cheaper. I noticed that the shop that I got it from, as I was checking the prices before making the video, it went a little bit higher. I know I pay $8.78, but I've seen it now around 9 something Canadian dollars, and the shipping is like 8 Canadian dollars. So shop around. I'm sure you'll find a cheaper price somewhere. Yeah, so let's, I just wanted to see how the nib writes, well, sort of how the nib is on the paper before inking it. So I'm expecting it to be an extra fine to fine. The nib seems to glide very well. I mean, it's noisy, but it's not actually scratching. I don't feel anything snagging in there. I gotta admit, I'm really impressed with the quality that HongDian brings with with their nibs. I don't know if they're doing anything from factory, but I'll be honest, from what I have, I'm yet to find a nib that I dislike from them. So they might be doing something to them before leaving factory. Anyway, let's ink it up, see how it is. Today I'll be using carbon ink because of the drawing that I'm gonna do. I want something a little bit more grayish, Okay. Paper. I need paper. Hold on. Give me a second. Okay. Grab the paper. So inking it is very simple, like any other converter. You can either remove the converter, put it in, and well, fill it up, but then you have to basically kind of pushing through the feed, and that will actually probably make you lose more space. Because with this one, basically, if you just dip it in, you can do two fills basically, and that basically will prime your feed, and then the second time you go in, you'll reduce the air that it goes inside. So what I usually do is go once, and then go one more time. And this is a nice converter. I think, there you go, it's almost full. Don't fall. Yeah, I think this section is definitely coated with something. Because the ink doesn't want to stay on it, it just kind of falls off. Oh, you're gonna get ink in those grooves, I guess. It'll be a little bit of a pain to clean them. Okay, I spent a little bit more time off camera trying to clean up that. It still has a little bit of ink in there. So that might be an inconvenience with this fountain pen. You get a little bit of ink in there, it's harder to clean. Still, I think it's worth it. Putting away the paper. And let's quickly try out and see how he writes. So, HongDian. (617). Did I get it right? Yep. Okay, nibs feels very nice actually. Yeah, sorry, I'm not big on quotes. But yeah, I like the nib. It feels really nice. Oh, reverse. Reverse works just as good. And it gives a little bit of a thinner line, not by much. All right, love it. Now, let's give it a more intense testing. Okay, so for today's drawing, it's something new that I never really tried, so this should be interesting. It's basically a close-up on a tiny bird. I assume it's some sort of a finch or bush tit. I'm not really a bird person. I apologize. I don't remember. Actually, I don't know the name. What I do remember is that he was sitting on a branch, and yeah, he was cold and he was all puffed up and very serious looking everywhere. And what I really liked about it is that he had, well, those big, tiny eyes, big, tiny. And then he had black on his chest going towards brownish gray, and then two white stripes on the side. And then again, black going towards a little bit of a more gray feathers. And I think they weren't really feathers, they were more like plume, or I don't know the actual name. But anyway, it stuck in my head, and I wanted to try and draw it. I've never ink sketched a bird, so doing the plume will be quite interesting, or the feathers, whatever they're called. Yeah, but stick with me. I'll try and finish it today. If not, at least I'm definitely gonna give good exercise to this pen and see what it can do. I guess I'll see you soon with some conclusion. Thanks. Okay, I think I am done for now, and the biggest conclusion that I have is that I need to practice more drawing birds with ink. The hardest part with drawing with ink, it's every stroke is pretty much dark. It's hard to make the separation between light and dark. Transition is not as smooth, and I mean there are ways, but I obviously need to practice more. It turned out to look like a penguin. Anyway, so it was fun. I'll definitely come back to this and practice more. What about the fountain pen? I actually like it. I had no issues with it. At one point, I actually did a little bit of smoothie on the nib, just in case I could have made it a little bit smoother and to glide on this paper with this ink. But there was no issue with it. I mean, everything was working as it should. I was laying down pretty nice strokes of ink. And no complaints. It feels great in the hand. I didn't have my hand getting tired. If you don't like a thin pen, that might be an issue for you. For me, it was fine. And yeah, I much preferred it to have it capped. It worked much better, especially when I was doing looser lines. So, would I recommend it? Yes, I would definitely recommend it, especially for the price that I bought it. I think it's a great little thing, especially if this one actually comes as PVD coating. I think that's the name, PVD. For this price, very few of them on the market. And things that you might find annoying, like I said, the clip is not the greatest in the world. It's very stiff. You might not like that. If you like to pay attention to detail, you might notice that the ink is not very uniform, especially on the edge. But this can easily be fixed, basically. Right? Any sandpaper will take care of that and make it nice. But still, it might bother you. The other thing that I found the most annoying is the glue blob that goes inside the section where the converter connects into the section. Ink-wise, I mean, I did all. It keeps on focusing on the drawing. I did all that, and I still have quite a lot of ink somewhere in here. I was almost full, so no complaints. Nice letter fountain pen. Another annoying thing, I guess, it will be when you ink it, you'll probably get ink in these crevices. Might be a little bit hard to clean, especially if you use an ink that dries a little bit faster or carbon based ink like I have. Carbon based ink tends to be a little bit tougher to clean. It's not an impossible task, it's just, I mean, you could probably get in there with a Q-tip. I don't have one around me. But overall, I'm very impressed about this fountain pen. I would definitely recommend it over the Jinhao fountain pens that are in similar style. Just try it out. I mean, the weight, it's all metal. The weight is nice, feeling is nice. This thing I'm still impressed. It just doesn't want to fall off my hand. I like it, and I usually don't like metal grips because of that reason. They get to be very slippery. So to, I guess, close it here, nice letter fountain pen. Give it a try, you might actually like it. And I'm very impressed by what HongDian is doing. I'll definitely come back with a few more fountain pens from them. and I hope they'll be just as good, if not better. So to close it off, thank you very much for joining me once again. I'll definitely bug you more with this kind of stuff. I obviously need a lot of practice on this. I mean, if I would have told you I wanted to draw a penguin, probably I would have been safe. But no, was not supposed to be a penguin. And anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks again for joining me, and all the best. Bye.